Hey guys, welcome back to Andy's Dinosaur Reviews. Today we have another review from Collecta, and it is another one of these brand new 2019 Collecta figures, and this one is the Fukuiraptor. This one is one that I was definitely quite excited for because it is a very obscure species that you honestly just don't see get figures pretty much ever. So when they did announce that they were going to be releasing a figure of this, it was one that I was definitely quite interested to see in person. It is overall a very, very nice looking figure. It definitely has a beautiful appeal to it. So let's go ahead and get a closer look. So taking a look at the actual head sculpt, you can definitely see how beautifully sculpted it is. You see the nostrils are very nicely sculpted up there on the front of the snout, and the front of the snout is kind of a brownish coloration, and then you lead back to a green, and you can actually see kind of a few different shades of green throughout the head area, giving it some nice skin tone and everything in the facial area, and then you can see a little splotch of brown and then some more hints of green and stuff all throughout the head. You can see the detail around the eye is really beautifully sculpted, very nicely done. And the eye itself is painted with a nice black coloration that has a beautiful gloss to it. The lower jaw sports some very nice sculpt and detail. The scales and everything look really good. You can see some pink inside the mouth there as we look at the side of the skin flap there, inside the mouth. Then you can see the tongue is painted in there. It's a little bit sloppy in there as far as the paint goes, but it's not too bad. You can see just basically some white of the teeth has run down onto the gums and stuff, on both sides actually. But it looks to be mostly just the lower jaw, a little bit on the upper jaw. The teeth do appear to be sculpted quite nicely, but I think there might have just been a little too much as far as paint that was applied to the teeth. This side looks a little bit better on the upper jaw, but the lower jaw is still a little bit sloppy. But regardless, it's not anything to really be heavily concerned with, as it's a pretty small figure and you're not going to notice it too much once you actually take a step back. It does look really quite nice. Look at this side. Again, the beautiful coloration and sculpt and everything on the head just looks fantastic. The eye also has a nice gloss on this side, making it look very real and genuine. The crest up on the top of the head there has a different brown. It's like a darker brown, maybe like a dark chocolate brown compared to the rest of the body. You don't see that coloration anywhere else, so it does give the head crest there a bit of a striking look and really draws your attention into that area. As you move back the head, you can see the ears there, and then you start to run down the neck. You can see some osteoderms pick up and some more beautiful scale work, a little bit of hanging skin here in the throat. You can see that it is basically that greenish coloration, but it gets these very nice brown, it's like a light brown striping that goes on down the entire body, really making it have a flashy but very realistic look. Then you get down into the shoulder blades. You can see the shoulder blades are very beautifully protruding from the skin, really giving you an idea of the actual bone structure of the animal. Then you run down into the arms. I like the skin crease here in the fold of the arm. I think that looks very nice. Coming down into the hands and nails are sculpted beautifully. They truly look just fantastic. I really love that area of this figure. It looks really, really nice. They are painted very nicely, no sloppiness or anything, and they overall look very beautiful, very menacing, and I really like that area. As you start to lead back here into the stomach, you can see some nice skin folding and stuff going on in the lower part of the stomach. You can kind of see the body reacting to the left leg here, pushing up into the body a little bit there. Nice sculpting of the actual scale work, and again some more very nice osteoderms here in the stomach region. You can also kind of make out the rib cage a little bit there as we turn it, and again those brown stripes continue to run the length of the dinosaur. When we get back here to the hip region, you can see the hip very nicely elaborated from the skin, just kind of pushing through, again giving a very nice idea of the bone structure. Very beautiful musculature here in the leg. This dinosaur would definitely be very muscular. It's going to have to run to catch prey, so it's going to have some nice bulging muscles, again in the calf as well. It really looks beautiful. The feet look very nice, very bird-like, and the nails are painted the same coloration as the hand, but they look beautiful. There's no sloppiness there. And then we come back up here. You'll see some skin folds here just as the body is again reacting to the movement with this leg pulling forward. It's stretching the skin a little bit. It looks very nice. Some much smaller scales down here on the lower part of the dinosaur as opposed to up here. And again, you can see those osteoderms as we run out the length of the tail. The tail has a very nice curve, a very natural curve, definitely not something that you couldn't see a dinosaur having its tail in this type of a position in real life. Again, now let's look at the other side. You can kind of again see the skin here reacting to the way the dinosaur's head is turned. It's kind of just bunching up a little bit there. There's that beautiful skin hanging from the throat. And you kind of, right here in this general area, I think just looks super real to me. It just really shows the movement of the skin. It's just really beautifully portrayed there in the way that's been sculpted, just compared to the arm being pulled back a little bit and the neck being stretched out a little bit. I think it just looks so real right there, and that's just a very beautiful touch on the part of Collecta. Again, looking at this arm, you can see that it does have that green and brown and kind of like a dark green wash sort of underneath, really bringing out that beautiful detail of the arm itself. And then we come up here into the stomach, and you can again see the skin being pulled here as this leg is stepping back, so it's really stretching the skin. You can once again kind of take note of the rib cage a little bit there on this side, and the osteoderms and scale work looks beautiful. As you run back here into the leg, once again, fantastic musculature here in the leg, nice calf muscles, and then we move down into the foot. Looks very good on this side as well. That beautiful wash is something that I really like on this figure. It really helps to bring out the detail, and it's something I don't think Collecta has done as much as they should. That really helps to make the realism of their figure just so much better. And then you can kind of see the skin bunching up here a little bit behind the leg, and then we run out the length of the tail. Beautiful osteoderms and stuff, and again that very nice curve in the tail. The underneath does sport some fantastic sculpt and detail as well. Very reptilian looking on the underneath as far as the scales go. And then we come back here and you can see the cloaca is present as always with Collecta, really giving it a very nice attention to detail and realism. And the base itself looks very nice, basically just a rocky kind of an area. You can see some ferns and stuff, some leaves just sitting there. I would love to see that the base actually had a little more paint on it rather than it just being one color, one solid color, but it still does look really nice, and it's a great addition to this figure. A lot of people don't like the fact that their figures have bases, but I personally really like it because I don't play with them, and I think it makes the overall appearance of this just look so much better, and it helps it to stand and balance out so much better. So this is definitely a beautiful figure from Collecta. As far as the size goes on the Fukuiraptor from Collecta, and I lost the tape measure, if we go from the tail to the head, you're looking at about 6 inches or about 15, almost 15.5 centimeters in length, and for a height, about 3 inches, a little bit over, or about 7.5 centimeters. For a size comparison, our good buddy the Peppo Rex giving us an idea here of how much smaller the Fukuiraptor is, but again, it's an absolutely beautiful figure, jam-packed with detail, so this actually I think should make the figure overall even more impressive, just showing you how much beautiful detail is crammed into such a small sculpt. So as always with Collecta, they continue to impress. Do they ever unimpress? Not with me. As far as I'm concerned, I think Collecta nails it pretty much every single time, and this Fukuiraptor is definitely no different. I really like the pose that it's in because it's a little bit different than what you normally see. It kind of, in my opinion, gives me like a defensive type of a stature. Like it's kind of caught off guard maybe, and is about to maybe take on another Fukuiraptor, I'm not sure. But I think that it looks very cool and is a little bit different than the normal just regular walking pose, so that looks quite cool. The sculpting and detail of the figure itself is fantastic. Overall, I think that everything that needs to be on this is on it as far as the detailing goes. Everything looks beautiful, from the actual sculpting of the teeth all the way down to the beautiful musculature of the legs. Everything just looks fantastic. The paint applied is fairly basic, but it does look very good. It's the typical Collecta type paint that you would get, as they don't go super over the top crazy with their paint jobs, and it's also very realistically done with a brown and green mixture. I think it's definitely something that you could have potentially seen this dinosaur being in real life. So they have done a great job there. The base itself looks also very nicely done. Again, I would like to see some paint maybe showing some ferns or just some difference in coloration of the actual soil, but for now I'm pretty content with just this one solid colored base because it is really sculpted quite nicely and also sports some amazing detail, pretty much the same thing that you get on the actual dinosaur figure itself. So overall, this Fukuiraptor is awesome. I absolutely love seeing Collecta as always pull out obscure species that we just don't get figures of and make them for us here, so everyone gets a chance to own a fantastic Fukuiraptor. So if you do want to order one, I definitely highly recommend this figure. So go ahead, buy yourself an awesome Collecta Fukuiraptor, and please like, comment, and subscribe, and I will see you in the next review. Thanks for watching.